Hello, this is Magic Studio 1 Folio 1 Week 6. In Folio 1, my inquiry is how to visualize emotions through color, shapes, movement, sound, and environment in 2D animation. I really want to work in this field because I found it is difficult to describe emotional pain in our daily life, such as stress. But it's really important to express our emotions so that the doctors or others can give us more helpful suggestions and treatments. Each color has a subjective impression based on feeling one's own emotions. At the beginning of the design concept, I invited some students to experiment. I asked them if they were feeling any pain in their bodies and asked them to draw it. The result is that they describe this abstract pain in very concrete colors and graphics. I think it's very interesting and it's a concept that can continue to be explored. My Folio 1 plan is to make a 60 seconds 2D animation to visualize emotions through a narrative story. I'm going to use color, shapes, sound, and environment to effectively communicate visual emotions. And in this folio, I want to exploring the production process of 2D animation from the technical aspect. This is my original storyboard. The scene is a patient going to the doctor with an upset heart. The doctor wanted him to describe how the pain felt, which he found difficult to achieve. After some modification, I thought it would be more interesting to create a visual machine to help realize the story, so I changed the storyboard. In the hospital scenes, the doctor examines the patient's inner world through the machine. This device can visualize pain. The first is the perspective of the patient enter the hospital room, and the doctor knows that the patient's heart feels pain after questioning. Then the doctor took out a machine that can visualize feelings to help the patient check and find that he was suffering from pain caused by loneliness. At last, the doctor offered a puppy as a prescription. I didn't do anything complicated with the character design. I represented them with simple shapes. For example, the patient is an oval and the doctor is a triangle. Because I think in the concept of the story, the character can be any one of us. Visually normalizing the characters allows the audience to focus more on the story. I redraw the frame when I was making the animatic. I experimented with color first, but I found that too complicated color changes would shift the visual center. I framed the several scenes. The first is when the patient opens the door and walks into the hospital room. His color is orange, which means he is nervous and upset. The second sense is when the doctor is using the machine and the patient sits down in a chair in front of him. The machine that visualizing feelings is an eye. The third sense is the patient's hands covering the heart position to indicate pain, and the machine is in a state of readiness to work. I'm still working on the fourth scene is a machine to display while the doctor uses a stethoscope to check the patient's heart position. Over the next few weeks, I want to explore more color combinations and perhaps create more interesting scenes. Unfortunately, I have not started with a sound experiment in this week, and I will also start the sound design in the future plan. This is my first attempt at the animation process, and I hope to express this story in a funny way in the future.